Good.
What's up, guys? Your girl Luca here. Luca Teal, yes, the Ashen one, the Ashen Lucario, the AshenLuca. It's me. I'm here for another episode of my show. Um, what's up? What's up, Nathaniel, Meat Puppet, Gregor, Dwayne, Smitty, Intergalactic, Mr. Pimp, Tivity. Okay. What's up? What's up, guys? How are y'all doing this fine evening? I hope you guys are doing well. It is another episode of the show with me, this girl right here. Yeah. And I have my fantastic panel here. What's up, Aaron? Aaron, you always have some very interesting perspectives. Let me tell you that. What's up, Spider-Man? I hope you're able to get some sleep soon, though. Yes. Okay. So, Singer, what's up?
What is up, Luca?
What's up? What's up? Okay. Nautical.
What is up? What is up?
All right. Slow.
Shout out to P-Hines.
I think I'm in the
What
wrong
is
show.
up, Luca?
I thought I was joining the TheAshenLuca, but I guess I'm here with the TheAshenLuca, which is definitely a
Luca. There was a
different
whole bunch of
person.
stuff going on DPS the other day.
I mean, good grief. I
It's
mean,
like
said a
Ashen
whole...
Luca, Ashen Lucario, the last is Luca, something. I'm here.
No, you said a whoop or something
whoop,
like that. Like,
whoop.
I was like, that's not.
I said, how did
Luca's
Luca not
intro.
be here for this? She came in, and that just lets you know that she bounced. She came in for 2 seconds and was out.
Right.
I went to bed super early.
That's what I
that
said. She
night.
probably went to sleep.
Yeah.
Or looked at Twitter for like 20 minutes and then went to sleep.
Completely plausible. All right, Spider-Man, what's up? Okay, so let's go ahead and get this started for today. So next week, PlayStation is having a showcase, and shout out to Meat Puppet re-upping as a member. Appreciate you, my boy. But PlayStation is having their showcase next week, May. Oh my goodness. May 24th, and I think that I can speak for at least myself when I say I'm very excited for the show. I know other people are excited. Other people are a little bit like, okay, I want to kind of see, what they got going on. There's like this very interesting perspective for me where it's like there are some people who like are concerned about like Sony's lack of titles the first half of this year and stuff. But I feel like there's a different. Okay, no, this is just me. This is just my opinion. Maybe, bitch, I don't really play games like that though. You know what? Maybe maybe never mind. I don't know. But I don't think it's that big of a deal, honestly speaking. Like PlayStation has cultivated this fan base, and a loyal fan base at that, and by releasing amazing titles again and again, like they stay hidden. So I like trust them when it comes to their titles. So I'm not concerned about them taking extra time or them not releasing games at the beginning of the year. That being said, easy to get complacent, but I don't think I would be. I don't think fans just being cool if it would be the reason Sony got complacent. I think there's other factors there that may lead to complacency, or maybe not. Maybe there would just be a.
What was that?
Is that cheek clapping?
We include
that
clapping cheeks and stuff.
Let's see here, Ramon. I thought I sent you the link. I guess not. My bad, bro. Oh my goodness. I opened my stuff to send you the link and I got distracted. My bad. I got you. Yes, my good buddy Mr. Terrell is coming. Here you go. All right, my bad, man. Anyway, yeah, I realized what sound it was making as it was happening. So Leaky, Blade X, Black Dragon, Spidey Ring. What's up? What's up? Remake gameplay. Oh, I can't believe they're doing a remake for that still. Like that's so ridiculous to me. But maybe it's because they wanna like they didn't really get to show off the full power of these systems. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why they're doing a remake, and also for the PC version. So
if that's what you want to go with,
I mean, I remember people being like, well, no one said anything about the Dead Space remake, and I'm just like, that's 15 years versus 5. Like, what are you talking about?
Horizon, they would re-release it so they can just sell it to you again.
Just milking, and people are gonna eat that
baby.
shit up, man. All right, so thoughts for next week's showcase. I'm expecting to see some Spider-Man gameplay. Factions maybe will show up, and then just new titles to release. What about you guys? What are you expecting from the showcase?
Well, since I may as well go because mine's going to be short and sweet because everyone knows where I stand. I'll be tuning in to check out, what's the latest and greatest. And I'm more interested to see what PC ports they announce. So I'll be looking forward to that. And I'll also be looking forward to, because they love showing off these like smaller JRPGs that don't get a lot of shine. Like what was the one that recently came out? Slomo played it. From Square Enix.
Forspoken?
No. Smaller.
Smaller than that?
Yeah, like pixelarty. Okay, either way.
Chained Echoes.
Yeah, stuff like that. So they normally show off some smaller JRPGs, so I'm looking forward to that. But apart from that, I mean, everyone have a great time. But yeah.
Okay. What about you, Nautical?
I just want to know the next time I'm going to turn my PlayStation on. That's all I want to know.
Because you're on that Switch, baby.
Well, shoot, Switch ain't been turned on in a while until this.
Okay.
So,
what? Ramon, what about you?
I am hoping. Well,
hopes
my
and
realistic
prayers.
hopes is what's that?
Hopes and prayers.
Well, my realistic hopes are either Ghost of Tsushima 2 or whatever Sucker Punch is working on. What else? He said some returning IPs, so I have a slim hope that maybe a return to Infamous. The rumor of San Diego studio working on Uncharted. I mean, my unrealistic dream would be a sequel to Lost Legacy, because as much as I loved Uncharted 4, Lost Legacy, in my opinion, was better. But that's probably unlikely. It'll probably be Nathan's daughter. And then, of course, Spider-Man. I mean, we know that's going to be there. I'd like to see at least a sliver of gameplay from Wolverine, but that's a toss-up because it's so far out.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that game. Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm really and then I'm gonna go with so I listened to Beastradamus, aka B Money, and he says that Blue Point is not working on a remake for Bloodborne. So, I'm gonna throw my wing and a prayer out and say hopefully there's at least a remaster for Bloodborne, because
We're not getting shit for Bloodborne. Just let that dream go. Let that dream go. All right.
Yeah.
I went back and I got the platinum for Bloodborne. I just like throwing that out there to let people know where I stand with that game. And I was able to play it, man. Like, the 30 frames didn't make my eyes bleed too much, but that game needs a complete overhaul. A remaster will not cut it. Like, those textures are disgusting. Beautiful for the time, obviously, but still.
Oh yeah, I never cracked it. So I did download it while it was in the collection. So if they don't announce anything with this show, then sometime this year I'll go ahead and just bite the bullet. But and then as far as new IPs, I mean, it is anybody's guess. This is the first show in a long time where I'm allowing myself to at least be mildly excited, because I mean, they haven't let me down. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Exactly. All right, Slow-Mo.
Yeah, I'm only looking forward to new IP. That's all. I just want to see some new stuff. Whatever they've been cooking for the past year and a half. Because it's been actually a little bit more than a year and a half. It's been almost 2 years, and I think they only been holding back because they were trying to appear weaker than they really are. But I also would love to see all the timed exclusive content that they have thrown the bag at, that either will show up on Xbox in 2025 or 2026, or maybe not at all. And just to see the reaction of all the people who are super upset, even if they could just, if you really want to play the game, because the majority of them own PlayStations, just buy it on PlayStation, stupid. But I love to see this all. So
I wanted to jump on what you said about them wanting to wait on the CMA thing. Somebody said something that made sense too. I mean, I don't know if it's any more true or not, but they were saying that since there was the console shortage, why have a showcase when you build hype for a console that nobody can get? And now that the shortage is over, now they're going ahead and doing a show. That kind of made sense to me. I don't know if it's true or not, but that kind of made sense. I don't know what anybody thinks about that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but also it has been a while because bear in mind, okay, God of War and Horizon came out in 2022, but they were delayed to that. They were supposed to come out in 2021, so it's been since what 2021. So they're bound to have cooked something. Like the chefs have been in the kitchen. So
Well, yeah, of course. No, what I'm saying is the reason, the reason that made sense to me was, you know, they could have done a showcase, say, last year, but it would have built up a whole bunch of hype for a console that's extremely hard to get. But now that they actually have gotten over that hump, they do a showcase now and people can actually get the console.
I would say that seems very nice of them to do that. Like, hey, let's not like get people's hopes up for a system they can't get. And ain't none of these people nice. So I'm gonna say they ain't do that for real.
Well, I don't mean to be nice. I just mean that they want people to be able to buy it once they built the hype for it versus building the hype for it and can't nobody buy it and then the hype dies down. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
I think it's strategic.
Well, what about the
I think,
people that? What about the people? Go
I
ahead.
think it's completely plausible, mostly because they did mention the PlayStation shortage in the interview. But go ahead, Nautical.
No, whatever. I don't believe all that. I just think that they just weren't ready to show anything, and
Yep.
I think that ABK deal had a lot to do with a lot of it too. Maybe not 90% of it, but probably 40%. And they were like, well, that just gives us more time to get more games to showcase at these events, at this event and stuff.
Yeah,
I
that
mean, you
makes
don't go
sense, too.
18, 19 months not showing anything just not to show it. They could have showed something, and
Yeah,
they
that
just
makes
decided
sense,
not
too,
to.
yeah.
and I saw PlayStations in Best Buy like in person last summer. Like I
Yeah.
remember seeing it. Like I mean, it was bundled. It were bundles. Like we're bundles with Horizon, but they're still look. If you really want that system, you're gonna spend an extra $50 and get a game that you may or may not want with it. Like it's if that's really what your focus is.
Yeah, that's
You're already
very
spending
Yeah.
$500. Why not spend an additional 50? Like come on.
Yeah, the moment the time passed a long time ago where systems weren't available. Like I was telling people all the time, I was like, if you really want a PlayStation, you can get one. Is it
Yeah.
going to be simply just by walking in your store and getting it? Probably not. You might have to drive 15, 20 minutes to another store or a Best Buy that's a little further away to get it. But if you really want one, you were able to find one pretty much for the last year. It's just that as of right now, you could pretty much walk into any retailer or even Amazon or online on their own website and get a PlayStation. So they're readily available everywhere now. But it wasn't like they were completely hard to get over the last year. You could get one if you really wanted one.
Yeah. We do say that as hardcore is also, but your average person, they walk in, hey, you got a PS5? No, we're out. Oh,
We out.
Man. Okay. All
Catch you
right.
next time.
Thanks. Man, I saw that showcase. You got a PS5? No? Oh, okay.
Would the average person be watching the showcase?
That's another thing.
I mean, well,
Probably
if you
not.
look at the, but
Nope,
if you look at
probably
the,
not.
but if you look at the Game Awards, they had like how many 150, 200 million people watching or something like that.
Well,
That's
they
a lot.
also
That's
got-
a lot of That's a lot of hardcore gamers. Right?
Well, it's also being co-streamed and streamed on bigger websites like IGN and places like that where that viewership is also being counted towards it, depending on how many active viewers they have on those websites and stuff. It pretty much acts like Twitch.
Yeah, but
So-
and then on the same token though, like all of those videos would be people who are like really gamers, not super casual, or
Right.
are super casual people watching it because it's still a stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're also going to get so for example, when the Xbox showcase comes out next month, you're going to get people who are like hardcore, who into it. They just like, they watch all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the people who are I'm just a Nintendo gamer. I'm just a PlayStation gamer.
Yeah.
I don't really care about Xbox. They're not going to watch the Xbox show. Versus with the VGAs, literally everybody was watching it because it's supposedly for everybody, and the way it has become like the de facto default video game awards show. Literally everyone does check that out, so you're getting all of the fan bases checking it, which is the reason why it had over like 112 or whatever million people watching it live versus Sony Showcase isn't going to do that. It's going to be big.
Oh, yeah,
It's going to
definitely
get
not,
like millions of people will watch it live, but it's not going to be as many people watch as the VGAs, nor will the Xbox show or any of the Nintendo's directs would do those kind of numbers, because it's specifically for a certain platform, and you're only going to get the people who really care about that platform watching it. Then a few others that are like the hardcore audience that will check that stuff out, but.
There is
It's not
something
gonna
that
be
would
everyone.
rival it, Slomo.
Say what?
If they do a GTA 6 reveal, gameplay and everything stream, and Rockstar just drops a presentation, that might have a boatload of viewers just because it's GTA 6.
Yeah, but they will also need a prep ahead of time to say, "Hey, we're about to show GTA 6." Then that would start to all the people, the millions of people that still play GTA 5 and online to this day would start to hear about it, get word of it, whatever, and then they're gonna go check it out. If you just did it as a shock surprise thing, the replay of your live event is going to get crazy numbers, but live, like, you're going to be catching people off guard, people who would have watched it if they knew ahead of time, but instead they were asleep. Or they were out with friends or something, and didn't see the notification pop up, on social media. They just revealed GTA 6. They're not checking it out because they didn't know ahead of time.
That actually makes me wonder, the mention of GTA, because I remember the last PlayStation showcase, they led with GTA 5, and I remember we were all like, why the hell are they talking about GTA 5? And then Jim Ryan talked about, their relationship with Rockstar. I wonder if that was some sort of a prelude to a possibility of them announcing something in partnership with Rockstar for GTA 6.
I really doubt it. The problem Rockstar has is they don't need anyone to help showcase their game.
They don't, but they have.
But they have. But that was the GTA 5 remake or remaster or whatever, or next gen upgrade or whatever. But when they announced GTA 5, which show did they do it at? Anyone know?
I don't remember.
What, the first time they revealed it?
Yeah, GTA 5.
What, over a decade ago?
Yeah, but like, which show? Oh,
I don't remember. It was over a decade ago. I don't think that's
okay.
relevant.
How about Red Dead 2? How about Red Dead 2? Recent game.
I mean, I don't remember. That was,
I don't remember, dude. Like, I honestly
2016.
speaking, I don't even remember like who I am at this point. But yeah, I mean,
You're
listen,
the TheAshenLuca.
you guys, you definitely find that a lot funnier than I
you
actually.
do. Yes, I do. I know.
I actually think it is.
Okay, that's fine. I still find it funny. Go ahead, continue.
I mean, it's fine that you find it funny. You just keep bringing it up, like,
Okay, yeah, I will continue to. Go ahead. Go ahead, though.
It's fine. Actually, you know what, Selma? I was gonna make a post, and
she sounds like my mom right now, right before she getting ready to
I was gonna
twist
make a
my
post,
hair around her finger.
And I knew if I made this post, it would bother you. You would see it, and you'd be like, "Why didn't you think of me in regards to this post?" And then I thought about how I would tell you that I deliberately made the post to upset you. But then I was like, that's kind of fucked up. So I just decided to leave it alone. But be on the lookout. Okay,
you know
so
what? I would think that anyway.
Definitely my mom before she about to do something to me.
It wouldn't even shock me. I'd be like, she definitely made this post to piss me off. And it would not piss me off because even before you telling me this, I would have known ahead of time that that's what this was. It was bait.
Okay.
It was bait.
So anyway, I'll be on the lookout for that in the coming weeks. So
in the coming weeks.
I want to give you a chance to forget.
3 weeks from now, it'll be like,
oh my god.
My best friend in the whole entire world is.
This is why I love you guys, man.
Okay.
I would like to thank Aaron in the chat for having a fantastic memory. GTA 5, they announced it on their own. So I would imagine 6 would be on their own as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Did they do that for Red Dead 2? They just did their own announcement?
I'm pretty sure. Probably. I would imagine so. If they did it for GTA 5, they'd do it for 6.
All right. Let's talk about this Jim Ryan interview. Slomo, can you bring up your can you bring up your tweet?
But yeah, sure.
So Mr. Ryan, aka my third favorite liar, had an interview this week. It was a good interview. He detailed some information about how they're going to be showing off some new things next week. He also stated that the
Oh.
shortage
Close the DM.
is being taken care of. He also stated he talked a little bit about the day and date for PC, and I have a tweet there I sent Nautical to share. So, but here we're gonna talk about Slow-Mo's tweet here. If you can zoom in a little bit, my boy. I love voice messages on Twitter because, like, now if I accidentally expose my DMs, people just see like the fucking the voicemail thing. All right, so we believe everything Jim Ryan says now. So, what was this in regards to?
This was in regards to his interview with Famasu, and I just found it funny because the guy's nickname is Jim Lion Ryan, and people are taking his like translated words, translated from the Japanese that it was originally put out in, word for word, as if it's exactly what's going to happen, and I just found that absolutely hilarious. So
I think that's fair, yeah.
it's just I don't trust anybody that works at these corporations, and it wasn't literally just like people say, "Oh, Slow-Mo's a PC gamer, so it's just about the PC ports." No, literally, it was the entire interview. It's his quote unquote focus on Japanese games when they closed, merged in Sony Japan, and being seen a Japanese game first party out of them since like Gravity Rush 2. And I'm sure they're probably going to like partner with Japanese studios to make that kind of content, but like there's no guarantee of quality when you do that. Like that's how you get like you partner and market Forspoken, which I think was a decent game, but definitely did not live up to expectations, versus you actually having a first party title that is Japanese focused that actually lives up to expectations. There are two different things about that. There's those two different levels of quality. So they're just little things like that I just kind of found hilarious. And so, yeah.
Okay, so what were some of the responses you received from this?
Oh, sure, yeah. Let's look at these.
He ready to share that.
Big Mike says, didn't we call him Lion Ryan for a while? Right, yeah, exactly. Alcoholic cat, drunk cat. Watch people's next app when day and date PC games come. Not that the ports will be any good, but this is going to happen. We got triggered triggered Juan here. Okay, don't. we don't believe him then. I'm like, all right, well, I don't. We got shout out to Jez, who thinks that Jim Ryan looks like Jeff Jarrett, the wrestler. He does look like that used to be him. I also don't trust Jeff Jarrett either. He was always a heel, so makes perfect sense to me. Donnell Brown says, I don't think gamers are going day and day. I think he meant games are going day and day anytime soon. They have been saying that, which is true, and that's not what I was talking about whatsoever. Of course, they have been consistent that their single player exclusive games would not be going day and date. They have been consistent about that since people have been asking. What hasn't been consistent is the term period between launch on PlayStation to when to expect those games on PC, which has gone from maybe 2-3 years to it's going to be 1 year, and the live service games will be day and date, to now we're seeing Jim Ryan talk about how the community, the response to the 3 years has been positive. And so, like, alluding to that might be what continues going forward. And so that part has changed. So he also didn't mention anything about live service, which some people take that as separate and some people don't, but it is what it is. Frontline Gamer says, well, I put zero stock in what any CEO says. I do think they've been pretty consistent on the PC thing, and in their actions thus far back up that strategy. As for anything else, show me Japanese games are important to Sony with investment, and prove you won't drop PSVR 2 like you did the Vita, which I agree with the majority of what Frontline Gamer has said. And we kind of discussed the whole PC part, going forward a little bit. Eric Jackson, the homie Eric said, when it comes to fanboy and dudes are the same side of the coin. If there was a Freaky Friday scenario where Jim and Phil switched companies, they would immediately begin acquiescing to and capping for them. I 1000% agree with that, and also agree with this part where he said the only thing you can trust from an exec is for them to do what's best for their company, which in turn is best for their own self-preservation. Nothing is etched in stone in corporations, which that's I had to repeat that because that's absolutely it.
I mean, that's very, very fair. Okay, so thank you for sharing that. I believe I sent. Let's see here. All right, Nautical, if you could share this dude's tweet for me. Let's see here. What does that mean?
Huh?
I don't know what that means.
Skin up.
Hit the like button, guys, please.
Thank you.
I'm confused.
What you mean? What Blue Moon said?
Yeah.
That means roll a joint.
Oh, okay.
All
right. But you know what? Do your thing, bro. I ain't know what he meant.
You're like, I don't recognize your slang.
I was like, he means skin me, which is like, bro, like
No. It's roll a joint.
I thought you was cool, Blue Moon. What the hell?
You're like, damn, that was violent.
If you could just zoom in, that'd be great.
Zoom in. Oh yeah, definitely zoom in.
You fucking bag, dude.
Do.
Okay, so shout out to this guy named Tony Miller, who said day and date would also be fair because it doesn't affect console owners' ability to play and enjoy their game. Not sure why there's this rise in anti-PC sentiment. I don't play PC games, but I certainly don't begrudge them for being able to play the games either. I feel like with this take, you have to be like deliberately obtuse or just plain dumb to not understand what the issue is.
Thank you.
The problem is that if the games are going day and date to PC, then less copies will be sold on the PlayStation, because there are some PlayStation guys who would, transition fully to just be PC players if games started coming day and date, because they already got the day and date for Xbox. And so if they start doing it with PlayStation 2, it's kind of like, okay, I don't need this PlayStation, I'm not saying all of them, but some of them. So that's primarily, I mean, you just got to look at Xbox as an example. Like, they don't even tell us what their console numbers are. Not that they were before, but I just don't know. But like, it's like a lot of people I know. I mean, this is my personal thing, my personal experience, and what I've personally seen. So, my perception does not equate to reality, right? But I've seen like there have been people who've gotten rid of their Xboxes entirely and have transitioned to PC with a PlayStation and with their Switch. So they still want to sell PlayStations. They still want to give people that value with their PlayStation. I hate to say it, but for some people, because there's still folks who just enjoy that console experience, who don't want to play around or fiddle around with PC and stuff like that. But for some people, oh my goodness.
Why are you getting so close to the camera?
What's going on here?
I'm like, my bad.
Like, you fixing something?
I am fixing something. But for some people, they feel like it degrades the console, because it's like, what's the point of me even having this piece of hardware if it's going someplace else, So that's the meaning, like that's the reasoning behind it. And like, again, I don't understand how people like to this day can still be like, I don't understand why people are against this. Now, don't get me wrong. Are there some complete and total fucking whack jobs who just don't want it to go to PC because they hate PC players? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
There's a lot of those.
There's a lot of
that. I still don't get the sentiment around stuff like this, because ultimately their console and PC are two different player bases. Now, the people that complain about games going to PC and feeling like it will water down their console purchasing experience, well, they're not selling, PC is not for you already. You're not going to buy a PC, even if all the games go over to PC.
True.
No, for most of the people that are talking like this, that have consoles, they're not gonna go. They want it on the consoles because they're predominantly console gamers, meaning they play predominantly on PC. Those people are still gonna buy the system anyway.
Okay, so there's this podcast I used to listen to. It was called Bonfire Side Chat, right? And they're PC guys on that podcast, right? But when Bloodborne came out, they're like, we can't get this on PC. They went out and they bought an entire system just to play that one game. Same for me. I hesitated about purchasing a PS5 because I wasn't interested in any of those titles other than Demon's Souls Remake. And then they came out and they're just like, oh, it may be going to PC. And I'm just like, okay, maybe I don't need to get a PS5 day one. But then, thank God I fucking did. And I got my platinum for Demon's Souls Remake. I'm just letting y'all know that. Platinum for Demon's Souls Remake. I bought an entire PS5 for one game, and then I didn't play shit on it for fucking months. So, there are definitely people who will go out and spend their money on these platforms to play very specific titles that they can't get on PC.
No, I agree. And I agree 100% with that. But it's okay. So the biggest argument ultimately comes down to what do people think games would sell if they were everywhere? Like if God of War sells 20 million in the first, just hypothetically in the first 3 months of it being out, what's it going to sell if it was everywhere in that same 3 months? Is it going to sell less? Is it going to sell more? We do understand the breakdown between console and PC is going to be a lot different. It's still going to most likely sell more on a console than anything anyways. But I think a lot of people are looking at it like, well, the people that were on PC that only play on PC, you're just going to get those numbers right then and there and not risk the opportunity of them like just kind of going numb on the game and saying by the time the game does come to PC, they don't even buy it. Because that does happen a lot for a lot of people. Like after time has passed, they say, yeah, I'm not really interested no more because the game, the hype is not there anymore. Everybody knows the hype is what kind of drives the number of games. Now, a lot of people are still going to buy the game when it is released 1.5 years to 2 years later. So I kind of get both sides of it. But when people sit there and say that my experience is going to be lessened if it goes to PC day and date, I don't get that part of it. Because you were going to get the game anyway. It doesn't matter.
I actually fall into part of that category, and I'll try to quickly explain.
Yes, please do.
So for me, like my experience isn't lessened. However, the way I look at it is this: I am willing to accept a lower. I'll just say lesser experience on console for the first class treatment of getting the game day one. I'm even paying for online, and it's the platform that I invested in. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to invest in a platform and pay the exact same price as a PC gamer who doesn't have to pay online, and they have a superior experience than I do. So I'm willing to trade off having a superior experience for having the game day one. You know what I mean? So like it doesn't affect me, but it affects me because like if I'm going to pay $90 for a brand new game and then a PC guy next to me is paying $90, but he's playing it at a higher fidelity and frame rate with path tracing, ray tracing, blah, 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 then I'm like, okay, yeah, I might have to invest a little more on a machine. But it's like at that point, the console is literally devalued to me because if I'm going to pay the same price for games, I want a superior experience.
So
you know what I mean?
Here's the thing. What you're talking about when it comes to PC gamers and what they're playing on and how their experience is, that is like a small percentage of PC gamers. Like not all PC gamers. I don't even know if many are playing with like ray tracing and 240 frames and all the pizzazz and all that stuff. That's like a very specific part of the market. It's not the majority of the market, which they put their stats up all the time in Steam, right? Right, Singer?
That is true. It's a very for a lot of people. I sit in the camp, and there are a lot of PC gamers who sit in the camp that think ray tracing is overrated. It just uses resources, and it takes away from your resource pool, and it's for what you get. It's not really worth it because, like, you take someone who has like a 4090 and all the gadgets, right? You could run it with the full ray tracing and everything, but a lot of people don't even bother with that because it's like, well, I could just turn off the ray tracing and I can crank up all the settings and just play. So it's a very specific person who likes ray tracing. It's not universally accepted in the PC space, but that's due to people's rigs. But onto on this thing, I don't think it devalues it because the reality is there were only so many console players. There is only like a set amount, and that's when consoles move on. Whereas there were way, 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 way more PC gamers out there than there are console gamers, and these companies look at that and go, look at that pool of players, how much money can we make? Because that is money they're not making right now. So they're like, well, let's test it, see how much a game sells, see if there's an appetite for it, and people will buy it because there are a lot of PC gamers who have spent 3,000 on their PC and they love PC so much they will never buy a console. They just won't. They will just stay on their PC. And the 2 to 3 year limit is a bit. You have to be careful with that because, okay, the game's 3 years old. Games come out every single day on PC. Tons of games come out every single day. People get wrapped up in different games, and then 2 years down the line, a game releases, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I remember that was announced. I'll just wait for a sale and keep it pushing." So I understand what they're trying to do on PC, but it's 2 to 3 years. I don't think is going to capture what they want from PC.
I don't
mean,
I think
like,
that
who are
the
these
length of
PC?
time-
I'm sorry, Slow. Go ahead.
the length of time I think needs to be dependent on you dropping a actually complete version of the game. Look, I am fine with a delay for those single player games. If you Nixus can't do everything, you know, like Nixus is the studio they bought that makes high quality PC ports. Nixus out here trying to work like 3 jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like they out here working with no sleep, and they still have to go rely on Iron Galaxy of all people to help Naughty Dog do The Last of Us Part 1, which they'll probably never ever do again. But like they still have to go outside of Nixus and still go to other port studios to help them get this work and to help them get those ports done. I would rather. So The Last of Us Part 1 came out 7 months after the game was the remake was put on PlayStation 5. I would have rather that was actually 2 years. If it took 2 years to get the game right, so that you're not doing, hey, sorry, here's patched 18, trying to get the textures right for medium settings that we should have had right at launch. Well, then why did you release the game? Oh, because you was trying to catch that wave of your TV show. Well, like these are executive decisions, poor decisions being made, where the gamer and the developers on the front lines trying to make the game take the hit for it. Stop doing those things. If you don't have the resources to have this game released at launch, feature complete, and an actual version of the game that's playable on the PC, then yes, go delay it. Like Final Fantasy 16. They said they can't get that game ready in the 6 month, like they got a 6 month timed exclusive for any other platform for that game from the PS5. Right. They said they can't get the PC version ready in 6 months. Bet, because I don't want you to drop some garbage like you did the Final Fantasy 7 remake. So instead, go ahead and take how long you need to take, and if that takes a year from launch, then so be it. But like we have to come to a point where we need to be realistic with resources, with the time that they have, and the studios that they have. And if there's a certain level of quality that they have on PS5 and what I expect, Like they go through a long post-production process of bug fixing before they release a game. I expect the same level of quality from Sony first party when it comes to their games on PC as well. So if you are going to do that on PlayStation, I expect you to also do that on PC. If that takes you taking a year and a half or whatever, like Herman Ho said, hey, like a minimum 1 year last year, so be it. I don't care. Just as long as the game is quality when it comes out.
Yeah. So
That's all I care
if
about.
it takes like a I would say a year and a half, 2 years is fair. And and here's my thing. Once the titles are on PC, I don't think there's any problem with that. Like, you know, you got your game, you got to play the game first. So games going to PC doesn't really fucking matter at the end of the day, other than like the console war stuff, which I
Oh my
love this.
God.
Like, I love this community because I've been in it for so many
Really?
years. Unfortunately, I've been trapped
Yeah.
here, and let me tell you why. Because I
No.
specifically
I wanna
remember
hear
that
this.
time when Xbox started putting their games on PC, and like the ponies were like, PlayStation will never do that, and like then they did
Oh, that
it.
was so
that was
funny.
glorious.
That
That was
so
great. I loved
funny.
Glorious. It
I
was
loved
so amazing.
They got real quiet after
The-
that.
the
Just started
day-
making excuses.
The day Horizon Zero Dawn was announced for PC.
Oh, the
Oh,
tears.
man.
The
I was
tears
like-
were glorious.
I was
So
like,
many
where is
people
Randall Thor's
catching
apology? So anyway, we just
Yeah.
that.
Oh
But,
man, I will never forget that.
Yeah.
absolutely astounding. So yeah, I saw this guy posted this, and like again, if you cannot see where people are coming from when it comes to the day and date stuff, like the reason has been explained multiple fucking times. So I don't
I
understand.
do. Yeah.
This, you know?
If you're going off of the premise of what Slomo said, making sure that the game 100% works like it's supposed to work in the same level of quality is put into the game like it is on the PlayStation, then absolutely that's take all the time you need, a year, 2 years. I think a lot of people are just kind of fighting back against the point of if everything is fair and the game is playable in its absolute best form on both platforms, why should I have to wait to play that game? Now if the game works everywhere and we're not and there's no issue with development for the PC side or the console side, that's when people are like, okay, you're just being stingy because you bought a $500 piece of plastic, and that's why you don't want it to go anywhere else. Now, if you're that person, then I mean, I get it, but that's why you also own multiple platforms to make sure.
Gaming,
so there's a give and
gaming
take
is an
to
expensive. It's an expensive hobby. And it's a privilege, you know, it's a privilege that we're
is.
able to play these games and afford to play these games and experience them the way that we do. So
many
I agree.
lose sight of that too.
Yeah. All right.
Shout out to this comment
do-
section though. Jesus Christ.
You do have me
There's some
interested
stuff in here.
You do have me interested in what the ratio of PC platform owners have a machine that is the equivalent of, like, say, a PS5 or a Series X.
You can actually kind of look that up. So
Mhm.
Steam does these surveys, and it doesn't survey their entire community ecosystem, but it does survey enough of a percentage to get kind of like a baseline of like what everyone has. And most recently, so like for years, the GTX 1060 was the most common GPU. Now it has changed very dramatically, that the 3060 is now the most common GPU at 10%. So that's 10% of the
Wow.
Steam community has the 3060. That's the highest number.
Damn. Okay.
The number of people that have a 4090 is less than 1%.
What about the cards between 3060 and 4090?
Yeah, like a 2670 Super or something like that.
Well, that's a bit lower. Let's say like a 30. I have a 3080 Ti. That's less than 1%. It's still less, like for cards that are like 3070 on up. Like I think that I'll have to let me double check it real quick. So I can you get some accurate in the moment numbers, but like Steam statistics. I think a 3070 is higher than 1%, but usually a lot of them are under that. And it's really about the fact that like there are people who just upgrade just to have They don't care about playing at 1080p. All they care about is frames. And the kind of games that they play don't need more than what they're normally getting. So that's why, like, sometimes when you'll see like people see an amazing game that PlayStation just dropped on PC, and they don't see the number of sales. They spend like 200 million PC gamers, but they don't see the sales that you would think 200 million people for a high quality game would be buying. It's because the vast majority of them people aren't interested. They're just not. Like, they just don't care. They're like, hey, look, I'm playing CSGO, bro. I'm playing Valorant.
It's very true.
And on Valorant on the 3060, I'm getting 300 frames per second. Like, it's real easy to run. So it's like you're kind of there is a demographic for those games, and they can make millions. They can sell millions, but it's just getting those people.
Did you see the active monthly numbers for it for April?
That's what I'm trying to look up now.
Yeah, and
the highest is 5.98 right now, which is the 1650 GTX 1650.
Yep.
For April?
Yep.
For
Wow,
April.
so it changed from the 3060 to that fast? Because like the 3060 a month ago was the highest at 10%.
The 3060 is 4.51% now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, like, I was looking at it as well, and it said that 1080p was what most people are using. Like, I have I still have this 1080p monitor myself because I've been too lazy.
8 gigs of VRAM. Oh
So,
my god.
but yeah.
Right.
So anyway, I did want to also discuss this other topic that came out that I found interesting. I sent it to you, Nautical, so we can share it. I want to say a special shout out to my boy Jez Corden, and also shout out to Destin Legary. Destin said something, and he wrote an article, and I retweeted it, and I let me look up what an article is.
There you go.
Okay. All right, so Xbox will survive even if Starfield is bad. And then Destin's like, y'all are acting like I said Xbox will be forced to close up shop if Starfield is bad.
Well, maybe they did what he knows that people do, is just read the headline and not read the article. Because if you look at his headline,
Starfield feels like Xbox's last chance at redemption. With Redfall a huge disappointment after months of no shows, Xbox has one last shot.
I have no idea why people think
fans on board. Okay, to be fair, he did say they have one shot at keeping its fans, not that Xbox would shut down.
What you think their fans? The fans are the ones that
keep their fans. What are they going to do?
Wait. No. Hold on.
Clearly,
clearly, the fans are holding the fucking line without any goddamn
game. Then it ain't no game.
I mean, what games has Xbox had the last couple of years?
Touche.
But
so
if you're saying it's their last chance for redemption, then you think that like they're going to lose the fans if Starfield doesn't hit, then. Yeah, I mean, they've been keeping it together with like, spit and
duct tape
and duct tape. But like, I mean, let the hardcore hold the liners go, and you ain't holding nothing. You're holding the bag.
After everything,
I love the hold the liners, dude.
Even if Starfield sucks, they're gonna still hold the line.
Man, they all gonna be holding hands across a green river.
I don't agree with Dustin whatsoever. I think that if Starfield. It's even if Starfield turns out to be as bad as Redfall, I think the worst that will happen is Pete Hines would be putting out a letter or a message to everyone saying, "Hey, I've been working here at ZeniMax Media for blah 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 years, and it's about time I moved on." And like they're gonna replace Pete because those are his games. Like they ain't got nothing to do with Matt Booty, but then let Hellblade 2 be just as bad. Oh yeah, it's about to be clean house.
Yo,
they're gonna have to
be hot
getting everyone up out of there because like at that point, you've been marketing these games for years, and then they stink. Like that, like forget your hardware, forget your xCloud, forget your ABK deals. you can't make games. So what's the purpose of all this stuff? Playing games. You can't make the thing that everyone is here for. Therefore, peace out and get some people in here that can actually do that. Now that I think they would literally need to bomb those next 2 games for that to come to pass, where people are starting to move on out and some new leadership come in that can actually get people to I don't know, make a quality title. But I'm not saying that those games will bomb. Starfield's probably be fine. Hellblade 2, I hope is going to be better than the first game. But it's just that what I've always said is that what they really lack is like that can't miss kind of title, that title that will like get people buying Xboxes in droves to play. Those kind of titles their competition has, and they don't, regardless of the fact that they do make good games. Those games that they do make that are good are smaller titles that people aren't looking for. So,
all right. So, Aaron says the whole thing around if Matt Booty's in charge of Bethesda. I asked the Microsoft rep directly, and according to them, Booty is the is the responsible man for all studios, including Bethesda.
That is so much for one
that's
person.
Matt Booty is not responsible for
Not
Bethesda.
for Bethesda.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Mr. Howard?
They
liar?
did the whole hierarchy thing. Matt Booty is only responsible for Xbox Game Studios, but ZeniMax Media is not under that. Everything that's under that is the 5 studios they had, like in the Xbox One generation. The 5 they picked up, like Ninja Theory, Playground Games, Compulsion, Undead Labs, Obsidian, and Exile. All those studios, when they created World's Edge for Age of Empires, that's in Xbox Game Studios. Xbox Publishing is in Xbox Game Studios as well. So when you make games like As Dust Falls, all that's in there. But not ZeniMax Media. That's independent.
Sweet. Okay. All right, can you scroll down a little?
What are you cutting me off to go?
Because you just keep going. I'm like, dude, okay, it's not under that. That would have sufficed, Slow-mo. I'm sorry.
It's the people in the chat that don't get it, you already understood that.
My bad.
I mean,
I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm just being rude. I'm sorry.
Yes, you are.
I'm sorry. Okay. Can
feelings
you scroll down? Yeah, your feelings?
Yes, my feelings.
Good. I'm glad your feelings are hurt. F you. Can you scroll down, please? Nautical, you were like muted. Okay. Well, maybe I should have sent this shit to Slow-mo. I don't know. All right. So I'm looking at these tweets between Jez and Destin. Jez is like, this tweet wasn't about you, but I guess you inspired the narrative people are running with. By the way, Destin did not inspire that narrative. I saw other people saying that too. And Destin's like, yeah, people just ran with IGN said Xbox is dead if Starfield flops. Jess says, I do think the headline is needlessly dire, but I bet it got more traffic than something less dramatic would have. Damn, he didn't have to be throwing shots like that.
Jez been kind of spicy lately.
Shout out to Jez. Anyway, and then shout out to Gaz. Gaz said, I mean, the heading and subheading alone suggests that you were. And then Colt responded with, like, because Xbox has one last shot, and Colt's like, at redemption. And Gas said, check the subheading. We know people don't read articles, but it's part of the sauce when your heading and subheading are framed that way. Not having a go at him, just surprised that he's surprised if he's surprised. I don't think he's surprised, to be honest. But yeah, very interesting overall. Should we take a look at what the article actually said? I think so. I think we should take a look at the article because I like to believe that we actually read things over here in Scumland. Okay.
But I just find it funny, right? That like they love Dustin, like just a week ago. He was the homie. He was the ace. And now they want to slap the taste out of his mouth. It's just
the same for
bars.
The ponies. They were bashing Dustin and now they're using him as a fucking whatever. So shout out to Mr. X-Man saying, I don't care about Starfield. I want Forza and Mortal Kombat 1. Shout out to you with that for sure. Okay,
Where's the article at?
I care about them likes and how we don't have enough likes, guys. Can we please get some likes? Thank you.
Oh yes, thank you for that. Appreciate it. I sent it to you, Nautical.
You did? Okay. Let me grab it.
Why would it be bad? Are you hearing that Starfield's a mess? Bethesda's worst game are just okay, not expecting bad. So
get the new one. There she is. Starfield.
I believe God Howard can pull off Starfield.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, here we fucking go.
Holy God, Howard. Lord have mercy.
Yes, God Howard himself.
You believe in them the way you believe in Arcane Austin?
To be honest, I've played every single one of his games and sure they were buggy, but at least they actually
There you
work.
go.
So, I mean, I'm expecting Starfield to be buggy, but actually work, unlike Redfall. So, I mean, sure, I'm willing to.
We will hold the line.
I will ride with you, Singer, with one foot in the boat. As long as you don't say they'll fix it on PC, I'll ride with one foot in the boat.
Oh, they're
riding
going
with
to fix it
anything.
on PC. Of course they're going to fix it.
I feel like
Yep.
Starfield will be buggy, but I feel like it'll be a good game. Like my faith in Xbox is nearly in the toilet, but I do feel like Starfield will at least be a good game, maybe even a great game. Bugs, yes.
All right, so Starfield feels like Xbox's last chance at redemption. It's no secret the gaming community is kind of angry at Xbox since Redfall released. It really felt like the straw that broke the camel's back. For too long, Xbox fans have asked and waited. Enough's enough. Redfall was supposed to be the game. Look how that turned out. Now with Redfall in the rear view mirror, oof, those numbers are looking a little spooky on Steam.
Staring at the world through my rear view.
And not just Steam. It's like number 18 on Xbox. And I'm like, your game just came out and you're 18. That's pretty bad.
On your own platform, and it's the latest release.
Sucks to suck, huh? Can you scroll down?
That's
And
a lot of
then
suck.
let's see here. If Starfield is a flop or suffers from any kind of major problems, faith in Xbox's ability to deliver is going to be further shaken, and as a result, I imagine heads will roll at Xbox. Starfield doesn't deserve this added pressure, but it will be the first full-price game that has a chance to change minds about what Xbox is capable of. Okay, I'm just reading through some of this. If we lose our way with Halo, we lose our way with Xbox. All right, we can scroll down.
What the?
Yes.
Longing for a meaty AAA spin. Why he got to phrase it?
Now,
that
why
way?
did you have to point it out like that?
Because that's. I mean, it's in.
That's kinda bad.
It's in like 80 font. I mean, like it's right there in front of our faces. Paul,
Longing for a meaty, he likes the schmeat. You know what I'm saying? He wants
You want that AAA meat?
he wants that AAA meat. Yes. Let's see here. Forza was a
AAA
gem.
meaty experience.
Crossfire X was trash. All right, so keep scrolling. Yeah, contrast. Okay, comparing and contrasting how the PlayStation is significantly better. Hi-Fi Rush surprise hit, of course. See if you could keep scrolling. If Starfield, okay, then he did like a little poll. Xbox needs a game that people don't stop playing or talking about for years to come. Okay, they need an answer to God of War or a world to get lost in, like
Good luck
Zelda.
with
Starfield could be that game. It's a Bethesda title. It has to be a fantastic game. Good would not be enough. And if there's something devastating like a save bug or issues like Fallout 3 and New Vegas suffered on PS3, causing it to crash all the time, confidence in Xbox's ability to release a quality AAA game will surely be shaken. Worse, its ability to manage its many acquired studios will also be called into question. So, Xbox had enough involvement with Redfall to have the team ditch the PS5 version, but not an... Okay.
This
I don't
man's
like
stealing
that.
my bars, man. Dustin, I need some royalties, bro.
I know it's difficult to believe, Slow-Mo, but, a lot of people can come to the same conclusion as you.
No, I said that word for word. Those are my bars, is what I'm saying.
Okay. So, I'm not really a fan of the last paragraph because it's like, oh, you had enough involvement to tell the team to ditch the PS5 version. Like, that takes 1 second to say, don't fucking release a PS5 version. That's
but that's the point. The point is that you gave them some instruction, but you didn't have enough care to see what the game was looking like.
Okay.
So that's bad management.
It is bad management.
Yes, that's the point.
But no,
Go ahead, Singer.
I also have a problem with this paragraph above, or issues like Fallout 3 and New Vegas suffered on PS3. That's because the PS3 was dog shit to develop on. Don't put that on them.
that's not. No, hold on. New Vegas ran like trash on PC.
On everything.
I mean, New Vegas did run like trash, but at
What
least
are
it
you
was
talking
playable.
about?
And it
At
had
least
a
it was playable.
and it had a memory. Like, I didn't play the game, and I know about this. It had a memory leak that every time you went through rooms and you opened and closed doors, it made the game file bigger. Pause. So that like to the point that like you get later in the game, and the game file would be so big that the game would crash every time you would try to load it, and therefore you would basically it was a game breaking bug.
Now, Senior just got excited because he thought he had a topic he could dunk on PS,
Like,
PlayStation
what are you
about.
talking about, dude? Like, yeah, the PS5 shit was abysmal, but that doesn't really mean much considering the games were still played like ass on other platforms. Like, be for real, man.
I mean, yeah, but at least they were playable. I mean,
okay. All right.
shout out to New Vegas.
So yeah, I just I could see why people would view his tweet as he's being a doom and gloom for Xbox. Because honestly speaking, me personally, considering how Xbox has been doing the last couple of years, I don't even see how people can be fucking excited, to be quite honest. Like, I'm like, yeah, I want to play Starfield. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not like super hype or anything because I'm just like, I just know Bethesda, their buggy ass fucking releases. And also with Xbox, I'm just kind of like, well, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I will not forget how I was on P-Rock's show and he showed the gameplay for Redfall when it was looking decent, not the IGN. I think it was the IGN. I can't remember. And I was like, yeah, it looks rough, but I was like, it looks like it could be fun, and maybe I'll still, give it a shot. Because I hadn't fired up my Xbox in freaking like months. So I wanted something to try to play on it. And I was cold on Redfall all the way up until then. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be open-minded. Maybe I'll give it a shot. It looks like it could be fun. And then the very next day, I think, or it was the next day or a couple of days, then they announced the 30 frames. And then we start seeing more stuff about it. And I'm like, man, they done had me out here looking crazy. And then that pissed me off. And like, I'm hopeful. I feel like Starfield could be good, but my faith in Xbox proper is just like, I ain't got nothing left.
Well, you're a pony, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Man,
wow.
Well, I mean, let's be for real.
I'm a pony.
Let's be for real. It's hard to just, especially if you are an Xbox fan, it's hard to just keep taking punches day after day, week after week. At a certain
these
point,
Xbox fans are fucking Luffy, dude.
No,
Luffy
they
versus
are.
a
Well,
regular
see,
human.
that's a difference. I don't. There's a difference between even knowing the word fan is a short word for fanatic. There is a completely different take when it comes from like me and Slow-Mo and everybody on this panel being Xbox fans. But we aren't going to just sit here and just keep taking what they give us. It's like we have other avenues to do all of the stuff that we want to play. I tell people at work all the time, they'll say, hey, what's the difference between Xbox and PlayStation? Which one do you play on? I say, well, I play on Xbox because most of my friends play over there. But guess what? 95% of the games are on both systems. So it really depends on what you want. So most people can pick any system and have the same experience as the next person. But that 5% is the reason that the hardcore, which probably consists of anywhere from 25 to 30% of any user base, they're the reason they pick those systems. And Xbox has consistently over the course of the last couple of years let that number dilute to a point where people just don't have faith in the platform anymore. So I get how people feel, and it's genuine at this point.
I mean, I think it's been genuine for fucking ever since that goddamn Crackdown 3 and Age of Empires at that one fucking show. I think that was the breaking point for a lot of people.
Don't slander Age. Age is goated.
Well, Age is goated, but they didn't have to show us 45 minutes of how this works.
That is true.
And also the fact that it was going to
Trebuchets.
PC and not Xbox.
What is this show?
Okay, so let's go. We'll see what happens with that. So let's talk about the Mortal Kombat trailer. Fire! Fucking flames, heat. That shit was awesome. That shit was awesome. They didn't do a music trailer this time, but they did a story-esque trailer, so you get a bit of an idea of what's going on. Do I ever understand the story for Mortal Kombat? No. But to be fair, there's no to be fair. The last Mortal Kombat I played was fucking years ago. I can't even remember which one it was. So, but it
Do
looks
you
really
remember what
good.
the movies were? Those had stories too, and nobody cared.
The last
Oh
Mortal
man, that Mortal Kombat movie was like the latest one was ass, but
Yeah.
It's the
the
worst one.
last Mortal Kombat I
can't
played
believe
was
how bad that
Shaolin
was.
Monks, the best Mortal Kombat game. Shaolin Monks. If you didn't play it, you owe it to yourself.
Oh, Shaolin Monks was really good.
Shaolin Monks. And from the trailer, what I took away from it was Liu Kang kicked the universe so hard it reset itself, and here's your reboot. So
no one said that these games have to make any fucking sense, to be honest. But yeah, so
As long as the fatalities look good, that's all that
exactly.
matters.
And then there were like a couple of okay, I didn't see anyone saying this, but allegedly, apparently, there were some people complaining about the gore, and I'm just like,
This game ain't for you.
who said that? Like,
What's wrong with you?
who's complaining about the gore? Like, what are they talking about?
Mortal Kombat.
But it looks so good. I might get it just for like the alleged rumored guest appearances, which will be Omni-Man and Homelander. Bitch, I might get that shit for that.
Yeah.
Because that would be awesome.
Who you think will win? Somebody asked me that question at work today. Who do you think will win between those two?
Omni-Man.
Omni-Man would destroy him.
That's what I said too.
Yeah,
I'm
hold
not
on.
even to Mortal Kombat, and I would like to watch someone do a fatality on what you call them.
Oh yeah, for
Homelander.
sure. Let's break.
Homelander.
Homelander.
I'm gonna explain. Okay, it's a stupid matchup to begin with. All right, and let me explain why. First of all, Omni-Man is from a warrior race.
Mm-hmm.
He's from a warrior race. His entire planet's goal is to go to other planets, assimilate, take over. They send one person because they're stronger than most species, right? So they send one of their little Viltrumites to go and do it. And yeah, like, that's their goal. He knows how to fight. Viltrumites get stronger as they get older. He is very old, so he's very powerful. So just those two things alone, right? He can defeat other Viltrumites, right? Homelander does not know how to fight. He was never formally trained, and he's only in his 30s in comparison to Omni-Man, who's like hundreds of years old. So
Yeah.
So it wouldn't even be like a fair comparison at
And
all.
he's just stronger than him.
And he's just stronger.
Stronger, smarter, an actual warrior, a fighter. Homelander, if you look at the last season, he should have, if he was a better fighter and didn't like basically look at everyone as inferior and take them for granted, he would have stopped. I forgot the girl's name. The one that fought him in the last episode.
Maeve.
He would have destroyed Maeve in seconds if he took it seriously.
Homelander in the show is significantly nerfed compared to the comic.
True,
But they
that's
all
true.
are. All of them
Yeah.
are. Shout out to
Yeah.
Star X-Man saying MK1 just killed Starfield. Good they got it on Game Pass though.
Yeah.
But continue,
comic Homelanders would still lose the Omni-Man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you breaking that down because I don't read comics, so that was really like
because
interesting.
tell me why I got into a back and forth with someone and they just would not fucking accept that Homelander would not win. They just would
Oh
like,
my
and I love both
God.
of these characters. I have icons with both of these fucking characters. So like, let me my fucking icons. Hold on. Can I even find my icons so I can show y'all?
I don't even read comics, and I know enough about both of those characters to know there's no comparison.
Goodness, where's the fucking icon? Okay, no. Oh, that's
that's a good one. Shout out to Meat Puppet 007, the $2 super chat. He says, who would win in One Punch Man versus Omni-Man?
And then happy birthday, Nautical. Gotta run, enjoy your day. Shout out to Boba Fett Gaming. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Boba
Who
Fett.
would win? Omni-Man.
You think Omni-Man would beat One Punch Man?
Yeah, because oh my goodness, Saitama's his feats, he's considered the strongest person in that universe, but a lot of his feats could be achievable by like characters like Goku. So like
I remember watching the first season. I didn't watch the second, but like, and I think I read some of the manga, but not all of it. But like, I mean, pretty much everyone he punched one time went down. So you just think like Omni-Man would take that one punch and be like, "That's it."
Because
That's all you got.
Punch Man.
One Punch Man. He fought against this guy. Oh, ask me what his name was. I don't fucking remember.
Was it the
But-
fish-looking dude at the end?
It wasn't the fish one. It was this dude. He looked like a cosmic entity. He had like big, clear, well, not clear, gold, white hair, and then like one eye. And it took several punches for him. I mean, Saitama was holding back, true, but we don't know by how much he was holding back. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's like there are still people who can take a punch from him. But I think like a lot of his feats have been done by other characters with similar power sets.
Okay, so what about Goku versus Omni-Man? I'm curious now.
With all the Super Saiyan, his final.
Probably
Ooh.
Goku.
I would say probably
Yeah,
Goku.
if Goku goes into what's his latest Saiyan form?
He's Ultra Instinct.
Ultra Instinct. If he does that, I think
version.
he'll just win straight up.
Yeah, I think he would win.
Yeah.
The Ultra Instinct where he's like just with the Ultra Instinct that he went during his fight with Moro. So he would definitely win. All right, okay.
Yeah,
real quick.
because Omni-Man's not the strongest in the Invincible universe either. It's just he's the strongest that people have seen. A lot of the bigger audience have seen so far, because that's where the show is at currently. That he's the stronger, but there are far stronger people than him in that universe that you'll see later on.
Yeah. So you guys see my icon here. Shout out to Gregor. This is Homelander, that is, as my icon here, and then I got Omni-Man as my icon here. So, matter of fact, just real quick, I was watching Demon Slayer today. Fire! Absolutely fucking fantastic. And then here, Jujutsu Kaisen right here. Okay, just real quick. And then Hannibal, the TV show Hannibal. Okay, I just want to show off some.
You
Gregor's
excited
artwork.
for the new season, Luca, of Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. So, hopefully, it can hold my interest more than season 1 did, because I certainly did stop fucking watching for some time. Thank you for all the super chat support, guys. Thank you. And then shout out to Lynch saying Omni-Man is basically if Kryptonians acted like Saiyans. Saiyajins.
Except that they get stronger as they get older. That's something that Kryptonians or Saiyans don't do.
Saiyans get stronger after being pushed to their limit. So if they fight people who are stronger than them, they get stronger in turn after healing.
Right. Whereas just Viltrumites, they just, you age, you get stronger and faster and harder to kill. It's just,
to be honest, I even think Majin Buu would beat Omni-Man.
Majin Buu, depending on which version of him, is quite powerful. So
yeah,
we see that in the latest arc with Moro. So I'm sorry, what? Saiyans never cared about dominating planets.
That's why they sent Goku to Earth.
That's why they sent Goku to Earth.
Brian. Brian? That's the plot. That's the opening. That's the opening arc for Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
No, original. Wait.
No,
I'm trying to remember original Dragon Ball.
Okay. You find out that Goku's an alien in Dragon Ball Z. Technically, it's part of the Dragon Ball just continuation, but over here, overseas, it's called Dragon Ball Z. We find out that he's a fucking alien in Dragon Ball Z. His brother comes to Earth, like, what's good, Kakarot? Why haven't you dominated this planet yet so we can sell it to the highest bidder for Lord Frieza?
Yeah, Brian just said he takes it back. He forgot about the opening arc.
I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, what? Okay. All right. So, all good, man. But yeah, all good. I would think that the Viltrumites would beat the Saiyans' ass, though, considering the Saiyans couldn't even fucking kill Frieza. So
right.
They couldn't even kill the fucking Ginyu Force. No, the Viltrumites are taking it, man.
And they're way more organized. They're like a serious army. Like when I'm about to say stuff that's going to spoil the TV show. So look,
just be mindful.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, like, you'll see. You will see. They are very, very organized.
Yeah. Send me the article of vaccine. Vac wants to talk about this Overwatch 2, them not doing the.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that. I got some more smoke for them. I didn't get it all out on DPS. I could go in on them once again.
It's Blizzard, right?
Blizzard, yeah. So this is what happened, right? Back in 2019, and actually a little bit before then, Overwatch players were complaining about no content for Overwatch 1. And then there was all these rumors that they were working on Overwatch 2, and that's why there was no content. So in 2019, if you guys may remember, they announced Overwatch 2. And they primarily marketed Overwatch 2 with this hero mode, which was a PvE mode, no PvP.
I sent you the link, Luca.
And it was going to have like new powers for all the characters, skill trees. It was going to be co-op. It was going to be
just share it.
Supposedly awesome. They said they had to do an Overwatch 2 because people asked, and I'm so glad they asked this. Why don't you just add this to Overwatch? It's already an ongoing game. It's been out for 3 years. Why don't you just add this new content to the game you already have? They said, oh, no, it's not possible. We can't add this new content to the current game. We have to do a whole new game. But don't worry, it's going to be so much better than what Overwatch 1 is. So fast forward to last year, and they launched Overwatch 2, but they said, hey, look, that hero mode, check this out. It ain't ready yet. It'll be ready in January after the first season is over. But meanwhile, you got like all the other stuff we've been working on. And when people look, they was like, what other stuff? Because ain't nothing here. The game visually looks no different than Overwatch 1. And they basically said you can't go back to Overwatch 1. People were upset because skins and other things that they had earned or paid for through Overwatch 1, all that stuff was supposed to carry over to Overwatch 2. It didn't. Not all of it.
Sounds like a Destiny thing.
No, it didn't. I can confirm that because I
can confirm it too.
I have a crap ton of legendary skins on Overwatch 1. I went on to Overwatch 2 and I was like, where the hell's all my skins?
Yep.
Where's my Diva skins?
My favorite skin for Soldier 76. It took them weeks for me to get access to that back. So yeah.
That just sounds so funny. Where are my skins?
Yeah, where are my skins? I spent many.
It was.
That just sounds hilarious.
They only added like 2 new characters and a couple of new maps. Essentially, it was less content that you would get from a live service games like new season, a new update. It was ridiculous. So people, the Overwatch community, disappointed, but still kind of being like, all right, well, maybe this hero mode's really going to hit. Of course, January comes and goes, no word, no nothing, no hero mode. And then this week they decide to announce that the hero mode has been canceled. The sole reason for doing an Overwatch 2 is no longer going to happen. They're not releasing it anymore. And then they had to have literally the worst interview. If I worked at Blizzard, if I was Mike Ybarra, who runs Blizzard, I would have fired the 2 developers that did this interview because they got like this, that game too. And that GameStop reporter that did the interview needs a raise because he did not let up and he got them so out of like whatever game plan they had going in, throw that out the window. It ain't work. So they announced they canceled the mode, but they were going to try to sell people on that. It's not like you're really losing anything because we're going to do story missions in the game so that you'll still get like some kind of PvE story content anyway. We're just going to take what we had done and just split it up and put it in the game through the battle pass stuff, which no one likes because I got to buy a battle pass to get content that was supposed to come with the game I already paid for. And the other thing was in Overwatch 1, they had story missions as well. So again, this goes back to why the heck did you even need to do a sequel if this is content that we're going to get that we were getting with the first game? All these questions the interviewer kept bringing up, and he kept basically getting them to admit things that they didn't want to admit, like how like the new powers and skill progression stuff is all gone. You're not getting that. So literally, it's just like it's not new content. You're not getting anything, but they're still gonna make you pay for it through battle passes. They have been getting all the smoke. They deserve all of it. It's absolute garbage. I've never seen a developer be this bad, like this level of false advertisement on their own product and their own content. And I ripped them a new one. A lot of other people did. You had clearly, I think, some of Jason Schreier's leakers work at Blizzard because he was out there capping for him when he don't cap for nobody. All of a sudden, you're all like, they deserve some empathy. Bump the empathy. They lied to people, straight up lied to people. Got people to spend.
He's like, my best friends worked on that game, man.
Right?
Go easy on them, guys.
Yeah, go easy on them. You know, some of my best sources work at Blizzard. You know, like fuck out of here.
Basically.
So,
Real quick, sorry to interrupt, but shout out to Lynch saying 5v5 in Overwatch 2 is also worse than 6v6 in Overwatch 1.
It is. Because for one, people don't like to play tanks. Everyone just wants to play DPS. And now
they also don't like to play support either.
And now you have one less option. So now it's literally, I'm the only tank on the team. We have 3 DPS, a healer if I'm lucky, and the other healer is just going in melee trying to kill people. And I'm like, okay, you're fucking useless.
You can tell just by the team composition if you're going to win or lose or not.
Yes, instantly. Yep. As soon as you see the team composition, you just quit out because you know it's lost.
Yep.
All right.
So now I'm doing something that I rarely do. I usually am a fan of games and their success, even if they're not for me, or even if I feel like the developers kind of a bunch of dickheads. I'm rooting for this game to fail now. I'm rooting for it to fail because they swindled people into Overwatch 2, which I think overall they'll never admit it. They just wanted to get it on a different kind of live service path that was more focused around seasons and battle passes, and not the structure that they had originally. Which, if you look at stuff like Destiny, Destiny has transitioned over to that, and they didn't have to go lie to people about Destiny 2 and what the content was going to be. So it's just unnecessary, and kind of wish the worst for them.
Yeah, and that's fair. Slomo, can you share the tweet I sent you?
This is the most dumbest thing. Yo, you right, Slomo. He straight up bodied these people in this.
Yo, he destroyed them, yo.
Yeah,
he absolutely destroyed those guys. I'm telling you, whoever did this interview, this dude deserves a raise, man.
The big talking point is the direction that you're taking the PvE, that you basically aren't doing it. Is that the correct way to characterize it? If it's not happening anymore, you pivoted away from it. I think I would characterize it slightly different.
No, the next question. So it's fair to say that the experience that you showed during the first Overwatch 2 reveal is not going to be the one released at any point. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
gave up.
But this is the key. This key word right here. He said right here, not in the entirety of what was discussed back at BlizzCon 2019. Dude, it is 2023. What have y'all been doing for the last 4 years?
4 years.
What have y'all been doing?
Taking y'all money.
What's been going on? You telling me a PvE mode that you were adding to the game? Like, people have full-fledged single-player games that launch in 4 years.
Right. Disgusting.
All right.
I hope
Slomo,
they get diarrhea in traffic. That's how I feel
Slomo,
about it.
can you share the tweet I sent you? Thank you. All right. So we're gonna talk about
Oh, I love this.
I love this.
I was listening. I watched. Shout out to the AshenLuca and her beautiful video she did on this.
An amazing video.
Yeah, I was watching. Luca was Luca was like, I'm confused.
All right, so we're gonna discuss how over the last couple of years there's been more of a push. To quote unquote fight over sexualization of women in gaming. And the way that they're pushing this fight is by making women uglier. Okay, so I said it. They're making women uglier and they're making them fatter. All right, that's what they're doing. And then they're talking about
I'm gonna go a step further. Go ahead.
And they're talking about how it's like, real women want to see themselves. I'm like, there are real women who look like some of the characters in these
Yeah.
games. You know what I'm
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
saying?
They do.
Naturally. You know?
Naturally.
It's a
You know?
reason where you
And-
think
and
we
you're
got
not-
these designs from.
Right. So, and most of those women, they're black women. And if you ask them if what they want to see, what kind of representation they want to see in games, they're probably going to talk about the lack of skin complexion that's similar to them, and
Facts.
not the actual bust size or cheekage that they have that is represented in games that you don't want to see. I'm gonna tell you there's a specific demographic that you tend to see make these kind of complaints. Okay, the particular demographic, I think we all know what it is.
Before we get into it, if we want to go ahead and play the video, turn the audio down.
And while you guys are watching, there is a like button if you could hit it.
Please hit the like button.
All right,
here.
go ahead. Yeah. All right, if you could pause for a second. So at first I was a little confused because I was like, oh, okay, so this is the character they're replacing like the over-sexualized character with, because as y'all can see, this
Fully
character is in full body armor. All right,
I can
there is
only see
nothing
The
showing.
only skin you can see is her
Thank you.
face.
Is her face.
Exactly.
Full
Even her
body armor.
neck is armored.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So, like, again, there are women who have this body shape that exists in the real world. But all right, go ahead
Yeah.
and play.
She's not even super skinny. Go ahead.
No,
Yeah.
she's got like a normal body.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Thank you.
isn't
Normal
like
body
what's the game? Stellar Blade. Like this isn't Stellar Blade character model.
It's
at
not
all.
even a Soul Calibur with Taki where she's got like quadruple Z's or anything. She's like proportional.
Mind you, there are women out there who unfortunately have that size, and it causes them like a lot of pain and stuff. So.
Right.
Yeah. God, I hate this ad.
All right. Okay. Pause. Oh, actually. Wrong pause. Okay. Pause.
Pause down.
All right. So
You sure you want me to pause here?
no, yeah, we're okay. Listen. Listen. There are several things I have an issue with. First of all, my main issue being this chick is wearing less clothing than she was before. She's in a tank top and in shorts, and she's gonna go out wearing that. This is the same thing that people complain about with like fucking Laura Croft, minus the boobs and stuff. I mean, she has big boobs too. So it's like, also she didn't actually the only thing that changed was her body weight. You know what I'm saying? And I know people don't want to hear this. It upsets some people, but being overweight is not healthy, and it shouldn't be something that's like glorified or anything like that. This concept of, well, people should have plus size representation. I'm like, no, actually they shouldn't, because being that size is not okay. Like, it's not okay. And I'm not talking about the BMI scale or anything like that. I'm just talking like long-term health. For the majority of people, shit's not okay. That's why we get shows like My 600-Pound Fucking Life. You know what I'm saying? And those shows are sad. It's sad. And what bothers me as well is that people just don't have any fucking empathy for like anyone. You see people at these sizes and you're just like, well, just stop eating. I mean, clearly if it was that fucking simple, then they wouldn't be the size that they are. A lot of people, I mean, there have been studies showing that people, matter of fact, let me just go ahead and make sure I'm not, okay. Let's see here. Let's see, linked to, let's see here. Okay, so there have been articles written about why some abuse victims may be obese. It talks about how there's this concept of making yourself less attractive, so you are less likely to be assaulted. That's the mindset that goes into it. But there's like other things that go into it as well. Also, depression, like mental health issues, go into being obese. Some people use food as a coping mechanism, and that's why they're that size. Some people their families are all obese, and they they eat what they're given, and their family doesn't have a good idea and a good concept of what good portions are, what healthy portions are, and healthy foods. And also, especially now with groceries being the fucking price that they are, it's difficult to afford healthy foods. And it's like, I saw this guy post talking about how he eats like fucking ramen noodles and chips every single week, and I'm just like, my your sodium is still a fucking thing. Like, there's
My
so many
blood pressure
things.
about to be kicking.
There's so many things that go into like food. It's not just the fucking calories that matter. It's everything that you're consuming, And so I've been saying this for years now, the last couple years, that is, that people should love themselves enough to want to get healthy for themselves and for their families and for their long-term health. I don't think it's okay to make fun of how people look. That has an adverse effect. If you go, oh, you're a disgusting fat ass, just stop eating, fatty, that actually hurts their feelings. And when their feelings are hurt, they turn
They're
to
most
food
likely
as
to eat
comfort.
more.
Exactly.
Like, you're fucking making fun of them doesn't fucking work. You're just being cruel. And I don't
Well,
understand
the people
why
who
people
say
choose to be
stuff like
cruel.
that aren't they don't care. Like, they know, not they don't explicitly know that that's the end result of it, but even if they did know that was the end result,
They wouldn't care.
They wouldn't care. That's why they're the kind of callous people that say stuff like that anyway. So
My thing is, I agree that there should be more representation in a certain manner. And what I mean by that is, there are larger people in the world, and in the case of, say, like, you're walking through a city, there should be people of all shapes and sizes, and even some people that are bigger, because they do exist. But what I push back on, well, part of what I push back on, is, as we'll see at the end of this little ad, she does moves and lands and poses, and her character presumably is doing things that even if
ain't possible for that
aren't
body
possible
type.
for that body
Be
type.
breaking ankles, kneecaps. You know what? Should I just play the rest of it?
Yeah, let's play the rest of it. Oh, pause it real quick. Also, this concept of tying femininity with being, quote, just this idea of women being over sexualized. For so long, the concept of being feminine has been fucking demonized, especially with a lot of these fucking modern day feminists. I am a feminist myself, but I'm saying in the more of those in the more extreme camp who demonize makeup, who demonize wanting to look like a girl, who demonize wanting to be pretty for, like, I mean, there's plenty of women who want to look pretty because they want to look pretty for their boyfriend, their husband or girlfriend or whichever, you know what I'm saying? But that's like fucking demonized. So the fact that she took off her makeup too, and this is the new ideal, this figure here is just, it's annoying to me that being feminine is, like, just in my opinion, from a couple of things we've seen, has been demonized. Because in a couple of games, I'm not saying that this is like modern AAA gaming or anything like that. I'm just saying in a couple of games, I feel like there's been a push and an effort to make female characters less attractive. I give an example: Aloy, the actor model. I don't know, the chick Aloy is modeled after is very beautiful.
Yeah,
But
she's very
Aloy
pretty.
herself, I don't know what's going on with that. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't even say that I feel like they use. She's a European actress, and I think they used her for Horizon Zero Dawn, but I don't think they really used her for Forbidden West at all. They could definitely tell they changed like her face in Forbidden West versus Zero Dawn, and it's like they're trying to make her uglier. I don't know. I would say uglier. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and then also respect. I don't want to get jumped. Let's see here. Ellie? Now, that being said, given the environment that they're in, I guess maybe Ellie doesn't actually matter.
Yeah, I think Ellie is a kind of like, her character model is appropriate. She's
I would say that's
thin,
fair.
kind of like stringy, muscular, body type, but that's like, I mean, she's going out on patrols like prior to the events of Last of Us Part 2. She was routinely going out on patrols out in the wilderness, needing to be able to take care of herself, not just in an environment where you're in the woods and you need to know how to handle yourself in that kind of environment, but also dealing with
Okay.
the
How about Abby?
zombies and stuff.
Abby's physique, which I understand that there are women who definitely look like that, but in that environment, her physique isn't really realistic because, especially, it's more difficult for women to bulk in comparison to men because there's testosterone involved. But go ahead, Slomo.
That woman
Yeah.
was working out every day.
Well, yeah, I think they tried to explain that by the fact that when you do Abby's part in the game, you see where she lives. Her apartment is right outside their gym. Like, they have a huge gym, so she probably just spent all her time in there or something.
But
like,
it's
they tried
about
to explain
nutrition too.
Yeah, so
A lot of
nutrition-wise,
nutrition actually goes into a lot of it.
yeah, like that's like people try to say, well, that she's working with that like faction in the army, so she's well fed. Not to that degree, like not to be able to put on muscle like that. She ain't that well fed. If you want to say she's in the gym and she's ripped, that would make total sense considering that she literally can just take 10 steps and she's at the bench press machine. But like other than that, like yeah, the size that she is
Not
is
free
unrealistic.
burritos.
Giving free burrito day.
Let's see here. Ripped warriors with six packs and huge arms. That's totally believable. I mean, it's a sweetie. It's a fantasy world. So yes, I would say that's believable.
And Dorian's right. They used 3 people to make Abby. There's one person that did for Abby's face. There's another woman for the body, and I don't know. I thought it was just 2. So there's a
Who's
face
the
model.
the
The voice
actor.
actress. Isn't it Laura Bailey?
Yes.
By the way,
so-
I wanna jump back to the whole fantasy world thing. Yes, it may take place in a fantasy world, but you also have a balance of suspension of disbelief, and also it has to stick to certain universal rules that you can't break. Otherwise, you cross into the ridiculous. For instance,
Okay,
You're not
fiction
gonna-
writer. Let us know, sir. Let us
Go
know,
ahead
man.
and promote your book, my boy.
well, I mean, like for instance, you have elves and dwarves. If a dwarf upped and started doing moves like an elf would do, suddenly you're gonna lose your audience because they're gonna be like, dude, dwarves have a top height of about like 3.5 to 4 feet,
Like
and you're
Luca,
telling me
yeah.
he's gonna.
I knew it was coming, man.
Yeah, as I was saying that, I was like, I think I'm opening a door here. But
Sure
like,
did.
if you're not gonna see Gimli doing Legolas moves. It would be absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
So, yeah, you do have a fantasy world, but there are still rules in that fantasy world, and what makes fantasy good, what makes good quality fantasy is rules that are created and stuck by. You can't just do anything you want just because it's fantasy. Otherwise, it doesn't work. It is called breaking the story. So, fantasy or not, there are still rules.
Yeah, but it depends on like what fantasy setting that we're in. You know what I'm saying? So the characters being big and beefy, that could work for the setting. Take for instance Baki. Nothing is fucking realistic in Baki. All right, let's be clear here. Okay, shit doesn't make any fucking sense. All right, Baki was fighting a goddamn giant praying mantis one episode. Like,
Baki sucks, yo.
fuck you. All
Hey,
right,
look,
that's
Baki's the perfect example what
love
Ramon's
Baki.
talking about, where
I
you
love
just go
Baki.
beyond
Baki
the
is fun.
bounds of anything realistic. Like
Baki
it's
is
an
a
awful
fun
show.
show. It's a fun show. I love it. I love Baki.
There was a guy
Season
that got
3's coming out.
his fingers sliced off by like some razor wire, and he said, "Good. I never liked fingers anyway. I want to be able to punch people and not worry about my fingers breaking." Like, are you serious right now? Well, why didn't you cut your own fingers off at some point? Like, it's the stupidest writing ever. Like, Baki's terrible.
An example,
Absolutely awful.
an example of
I love Baki, but okay.
an example of breaking believability is, let's go to a certain episode in the Game of Thrones show where one of, if not my favorite character, Arya Stark, gets stabbed multiple times in the stomach by the girl that's pursuing her, and then continues to fight, and then they fall off of that bridge to the ground, and she keeps fighting and eventually wins the fight. Pull a stomach muscle and tell me if you can do anything short of stand up straight. But she got stabbed multiple times in the stomach. That's an example of suspension of disbelief versus breaking rules altogether.
I mean, that's fair. I do agree with you there.
You want me to finish this?
Yes,
video?
please finish the video.
Let's get this over with.
Yes, please.
All right, pause it here. Okay, so isn't this outfit more revealing than the last one?
Yep.
Yeah, it kind of seems like it does. Yeah.
Like, yeah, like I said, she's got like a tank top on, short shorts, and I'm assuming this is her character model, or the actor she's based on is wearing like a really short tank and showing their belly and like having these pants all up and stuff. So I don't know. I don't understand how this is like less.
Go ahead and say what you're about to say.
So does this chick not think of herself as sexy?
I would say probably yes, but the unintended message that Dove sent was, we're gonna stop sexualizing women, and then they show a larger woman who's wearing less.
Let's change beauty, which means let's change the definition of beauty.
Which is like, beauty, number one, beauty is not a fact, it's an opinion, and it depends on the individual. They could say, let's diversify the representation of beauty, or whatever the case is, but that let's
I feel
change
like they
beauty,
insulted her.
They did insult her. They absolutely did insult her.
Yeah, they did.
She's not considered beautiful, so we're gonna make it to where she's considered beautiful. Like
and you wearing whatever the heck it is you're wearing, that I can't imagine she really goes out in public looking like that.
And her top looks
Well,
all
that's what I'm
sloppy.
saying.
Look at her top is all wrinkled and everything. They made her look bad, man.
Well, people do go out of the house looking like this, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I mean, but still, they're talking about, you know, beauty and beauty standards. And
well,
everything.
that's the biggest thing.
And
right
wearing
there.
jorts. All right, my bad. Go ahead.
Shorts.
She's wearing jorts, bro. Like, can I minimize this?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a freaking insult, man.
The belt is a lot looser in that Avatar picture.
Yeah, I do think they made that. Oh, but that being said, the tank could just be holding it in as well. So I just think it's like
they did a disservice to her.
They did a disservice to her. I do agree with that, and I don't know. I just don't. I don't really like the message that they're pushing, but fuck, who does? You know what I'm saying? And then again, that 74% of women feel underrepresented. I mean, are those all bigger dicks, or
it's typical of a certain demographic to use percentages of women who may actually, that number may be accurate, but you're trying to twist what that 74% actually feel underrepresented in, to make it just about weight or size or a woman's body shape, and not necessarily, hey, maybe that's a significant number of black women who feel like I never see me represented in games. Oh, forget about that, right? That's not important. You know, maybe they don't really care about this. No, we're just gonna make it act like all 74% of them only care about this particular issue.
The thing, the 74% statistic is, how many people did you poll for that? Did you ask every single gamer out there?
So true.
Or was that a selection of 1,000 people that call themselves gamers? Like, where's this 74% coming from?
Exactly.
Like, how can you even come up with it?
And I was reading in the comments on one in Twitter that had posted this, and one lady was like, "I'm the size of the lady of the model, you know, after taking all the stuff off, and she's like, I prefer playing as women like the first one. You know, so I mean, that may not be a talking point, I guess, but
No, I mean, I feel like that's a fair talk. Me personally, I want whoever I'm playing as to look good, so I can have something nice to look at when I'm playing the game. It's why I put so much time and effort and energy making Geralt look good in The Witcher 3. He was looking beautiful. That's a beautiful, beautiful man. And then it's like, you know, I did my best with that Mass Effect creator. But like, you know, I feel like I made my Dragon Age characters, not Origins, but my Dragon Age characters definitely looks beautiful, right? So I personally like to play characters who look good, and I know that there are some men who would prefer, like, even if they're not in healthy weight, they prefer the character they play as to be like, you know, a guy who's in good health. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look at the military. Let's be realistic here. When you go into the military, what do they do? The first thing, what's the first thing they put you in?
Boot camp.
Why they gotta put you in boot camp?
Because they got to get you able to be in physical condition to meet the demands physically that go with being a soldier.
Yeah, that is 100% very much part of it. They gotta train you how to fight, and they gotta train your body to be capable of fighting. If you can't do that, then you can't be that guy on the front lines. You know, you just can't do those things. And so when we see your character in Mass Effect, who is a soldier, not just a soldier, an N7 operative, someone who becomes
eventually a Spectre, baby,
the first human Spectre.
Here's human Spectre, baby.
He needs to be looking even better than some dude who just got out of boot camp. And so it doesn't make any sense that, like, oh, well, why can't the Commander Shepard look like me? Because you do insurance, Jerry. Okay, you don't save the universe, dummy.
You don't do shit.
Like, let's be real. Commander Shepard isn't beating Progressive in last month's, you know, ratings. He's trying to save the galaxy. Okay, there's a whole different skill set, and your body needs to be capable of doing that skill set and look like it's capable of doing that skill set. Like her doing that flip from the sky and whatever the heck she did with the sword,
and she landed in that
both her legs, and
landed in that wushu stance.
Woo-ha!
Get out of here, yo.
Man, I know fit people who couldn't land in a wushu stance like that. It's like, yeah, okay, sure. Muscles be all tore off the bone, but okay.
All right.
So you think they CGI'd a bigger body over the person that actually did the mocap for that?
Absolutely.
Well, that's exactly what they did.
Someone else did the mocap
they
for
did.
that wasn't that woman that they showed in the
a smaller person.
She didn't do that.
They said, you know what? We're about to portray a bigger woman being able to do all of these cool things, but then we're going to make sure that a smaller woman does it.
Think about the irony of that for a second. Like, really think about the irony about that for a second. We want to represent everybody, and then they portray the woman they portray, but then they had to get somebody capable of doing those moves and then overlay weight onto her again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they want to be realistic. They want to be more realistic about it. Oh my God.
All right. Let's do these right here. Okay. And then we're gonna do channel member topics. Okay.
Let's do them.
Shout out to Meat Puppet saying, do you think that Xbox will release their roadmap, or will they continue to stumble along without releasing it?
I think we'll get a roadmap.
Yeah, I think we'll.
month.
Yep.
All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, I can't imagine them not giving a roadmap. Let's just hope it actually kind of works.
No. Well, that roadmap's already shot, man. I just want to see games at this point. It's like right now,
believe it.
Exactly, and that's the biggest thing. You know, you got people out here believing that crazy leak of all those freaking games, and I'm like, what is?
God!
I was like, what is this? This isn't even a leak list of games. This is like a leak list of something a kid drew on the ground. It was like,
well,
hey,
no, Forte. It says confidential across it, so it's real.
It's the most stupid thing in the world. But guess what? Honestly, it just ultimately comes down to. As much as I want release day for games, I just want to see games at this point. That's how bad it's gotten. We just want to see games. Don't care about anything else.
Too right. I want to see.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Sorry, Singer.
I want to see Avowed gameplay. Show me
Thank
that shit.
yes.
Yes,
I've
Show
been
me-
waiting on Avowed
Show-
gameplay for
show
2
me-
years.
Show me these masters of Obsidian. Show the world that you are god tier game developer.
I
Show it.
want to see Hellblade Combat. That's what I want to see.
Okay.
You know,
Dude, they
Quick
sold
question. Let's say it's June 12th, right? It's June 12th,
the day after. Okay.
the day after the show.
Uh-huh.
We didn't see Hellblade Combat. We didn't
Oh,
see
man.
Avowed gameplay. The only gameplay we saw was the Starfield event that came after, and some other like third party stuff. How do y'all feel?
I'll be fine because I'm not one of the people out here capping that everything's going to be great. I'm a realist to the situation. It's like what I want and what's going to happen are two different things. So if they don't do those things, I still own an Xbox and I still have 2.5 years of Game Pass. I'll still be able to play whatever games I want to. But for the people that think that everything's going to be peaches and creams if this show doesn't go off the way it needs to go off, I kind of feel bad for them.
my answer to that question is
It needs to go off.
rather quite unhappy. I very rarely take an L when it comes to buying games and consoles and whatnot.
Don't
And
start now.
I took a chance on the Series X because when I saw the things they were doing, for the first time I believed in them, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a shot.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's an L. It's an L. Laugh as much as you want to laugh because
I'm sorry.
that was an L, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give them a shot because they seem like they're really serious about it. And I saw the things that they were doing. Avowed, like, they didn't show anything, but I mean, when I saw it, I was like, okay, I really enjoyed Skyrim. They got ZeniMax. I'm looking at Avowed. That looks like that could be similar. I loved Hellblade. They showed that they had, Ninja Theory. Hellblade 2 was coming, everything. I was like, cool, man. All right, I'm going to take a chance on Xbox because I like what I see. And then, I was more patient because I was playing all the games that I hadn't played before. So I was catching up on all that. So I was patient. And then I played all the games that I wanted to play. And then now here we are. And I'm annoyed.
But guess what? That's why I respect your opinion on things because, like you said, I wouldn't consider you saying you took an L. You took a chance on something that you thought was going to be better.
Went off hopes and dreams.
Yeah, he went off hopes and dreams. But guess what? And that's the reason. And people are gonna probably say, "Well, why don't you care?" I would say, "Well, because I've never really cared about what Xbox gave me as a platform. I just bought an Xbox because my friends were over there, and Luke would be the first one to contest to it.
I got an Xbox for Destiny 2, baby.
Hey, when did we? Hey, we were all on the bubble. We kept saying, "Hey, are you going to get the Series X?" And we was like, "Don't know. They haven't really shown us anything." And guess what? We all was like at the same exact time. As soon as Destiny was like, "Oh, 60 frames per second, 4K on the new Xbox, and field of view sliders," the first thing that popped out of my mouth was, "Oh, I'm coming home, baby."
Right? I was just like, say fucking less, baby.
Yeah,
I'll fucking
say
pick
less.
that joint up.
I said, "I'm coming home,"
Yeah.
and I have never been anything about saying against it, saying like Xbox wasn't the reason I bought an Xbox, the new Xbox at least, because, and that's how I tell people, spend money on what you want, but know why you're buying it. Don't buy it with the hopes and dreams of thinking that Microsoft or Xbox is going to give you something that they, just because they say they're going to do it. I don't trust them now. I haven't trusted them in years to, do something like that. So if the games happen to come, great. I have the platform. If they don't, there's multiple other ways to play games out there, and there's other platforms to do it on. And that's where we're at with Xbox now.
My answer
real quick. Iman, message me on Twitter. Go ahead.
My answer to Slow-Mo's thing is I'd be disappointed because my beloved Obsidian wouldn't be there, but for the rest of it, I'll be like, whatever, because ever since I graduated to PC, I always have something to play. I never miss a beat. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, sure. Give me the games when they come. I'll just play whatever I'm playing at the time. So it's fine. I ain't
Right.
gonna cry
But-
over it.
At this point, like I'm pretty much hovering over. This is my first and last Xbox at this point.
Ooh.
I mean, that's fucking fair, dude. Actually,
Dude.
speaking on it, this is probably my last Xbox too. At
This-
least as it stands right now.
It's a lot of people's
what
last thing
about
because
you,
you don't
Nautical?
need it.
Yeah.
I mean, I always said the moment that all my friends move over to PC, especially now that you don't even really need an Xbox because the Xbox app when it comes to communicating with people on Xbox it's gotten a lot better.
Discord.
Discord is definitely a thing, so you really don't need one. I mean, but it's always going to be hard for me not to say I'm going to get one because I always like having the newest thing. But if there is absolutely no reason to get it because all those other things are there, then it's going to probably be a lot of people's last Xbox. But I also believe that Xbox for themselves is going to be looking at it too. At some point, Xbox isn't going to make Xboxes no more because they just want to be pretty much an app right now that runs on everything that just has to have an ecosystem.
Join us on the dark side of the moon, 40.
I already been there, bro. The Dark Side of the Moon is great. Guess what? I was playing Tears of the Kingdom at 60 frames per second at 4K earlier.
Yes, we got him. Right. Honestly, 40, that is like the top tier experience, right?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Guys, I gotta run. But great show as usual. You know how we
love
used
you,
to do it
Slow.
around here.
Great hanging out
We
with
love
Slow.
you, Slow.
Have fun with the family, bro.
Warms my heart. Everyone said that except for Luca. I'm not surprised.
Oh,
But-
sorry. See you later, buddy.
Peace out, y'all.
See you, Slow.
And I'm sorry for all the Laker fans out there. Your team's losing by 14 points right now.
God damn it.
Sorry, I'm like looking at this article
They get
looking for
destroyed.
an article that Mon sent me. Okay, next topic. Sony, shout out to Derek saying Sony hasn't released any first party exclusives since November of last year. I'm hoping for more games at the showcase other than just Spider-Man 2 and a bunch of third party timed exclusives. Sony and Microsoft really do need to do more for the new generation of consoles. Third party's been doing all the work so far. Fair.
Very fair.
Shout out to Gregor saying, in honor of the NBA lottery just happening, go Spurs go, and the ongoing NBA playoffs. Luca, what sport will you pretend to be interested in next year? Okay, yeah, you got me. You got me on that. Yeah, you got me. You got me.
I
Is
need to
Gregor
know
still in the chat?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's in there.
Yeah.
He's in there.
Yeah, he's in there.
I need to
Okay.
know the backstory on that one.
Basically, I was asking about basketball. So
Yeah.
I was interested in that, and then I never watched it.
Oh Lord.
All
What's
right.
the name of your NBA team, Luca?
I don't know.
You live in Chicago, right?
Oh, you're talking about the Chicago team?
Yeah, what's the name of the basketball
Bulls.
team? Okay, good. Okay. Good. You know
Right.
something at least.
Mm-hmm. All right. So shout out to Brandon who says, Hey Luca and panel, this week was very busy. Congrats to Nintendo gamers for Zelda selling 10 million copies in 3 days. Congrats to PlayStation Nation for your upcoming showcase Wednesday. I can't wait to see Spider-Man 2. Oh, and congrats to the Microsoft ABK for getting approval in the EU and China. I noticed that Xbox is putting Gears on Nvidia Cloud, and future Xbox Bethesda games are coming more next week. The future of gaming is here. What are you looking forward to in gaming in the next couple of weeks leading up to the summer? I'm just worried where I'm going to get time to play all these games. Plus my backlog across 3 platforms. Enjoy your gaming. I'm looking forward to this showcase next week.
I'm looking forward to the Xbox showcase.
I'm looking forward to playing more Tears of the Kingdom. And then I'm looking forward to the showcase and Final Fantasy 16. Like, I mean, that's a front because I'm not going to even make it to that game in time for its release because I have a couple games that I'm finishing up. But yeah, Final Fantasy 16, Stellar Blade, can't wait to see more about that. And PlayStation Showcase, Xbox Showcase, like, I want to say I'm looking forward to it, but I'm just going to watch it and then just hope.
Yeah. Sorry, Nautical. Gregor wants me to ask you to spell turquoise.
What?
Can you spell the word Turk?
What does he want? What?
Well, considering TheAshenLuca, you deserve. I deserve this. So
Also, Bubba Fett Gaming, by the way.
I can't believe this dude, man.
He Googling it right now.
No, I didn't.
Yep, he's
no,
Googling it.
no, I'm not. I'm not. It's not. Why would I?
okay.
Wouldn't have to do that.
All right. So anyway, moving on.
I'm
from
not.
that.
No.
So
he's not doing this to me.
this article that Mon sent me, for some reason I can read it on my phone, but not on the fucking computer. But university to pay 14 million. Oh, actually, I missed somebody's. Okay, shout out to Smitty who asked one game that changed your life and how. Mass Effect 2. Actually, the Mass Effect trilogy. I remember playing it on my PS3. It was the Legendary Edition, and I was very depressed and thinking about offing myself. I thought about self-deletion. I definitely thought about, just taking myself out of here. I was extremely, extremely depressed. So I was looking for something to, mind you, I was very young. Bitch, I was feeling depressed last year. But anyway, I was so depressed I wanted to self-delete. So I was looking for hobbies to play in order to take my mind off things, and I started playing the Mass Effect trilogy, and it was just so such a amazing, fantastic experience in terms of character development and gameplay and that fucking fight at the end of Mass Effect 1 though, I don't know about gameplay for that, but storytelling especially, and the RPG elements, it just reminded me that there's beauty in this world, and people can create these compelling stories and such. So Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect trilogy. The question is, game that changed your life, boys.
For me, the entire Legacy of Kain series, it planted the seeds of writing fiction for me. It was one of the things that planted seeds. Some of the most amazingly written dialogue, in my opinion, and such an excellent story across any medium. It's just awesome storytelling, handling of multiple complex plots and time travel, and all of the oh man, it's just some amazing storytelling in Legacy of Kain. Even to this day, the fact that we have these powerful consoles, I can still go back to those horrible blocky graphics in, pixelated graphics in Blood Omen, and then blocky polygons in Soul Reaver and moving forward. Just amazing storytelling. So that's mine.
All right.
I'm not sure there's a game that really changed my life. I mean, there's one that changed my gaming habits, if that counts. But and that would be Halo. I guess that Halo would be, because thinking about it, at the time when Halo came out, I don't know. It's difficult.
Okay. Nautical?
Yeah. Something that changed my gaming life. That's kind of blasphemous. Nothing probably change. So, Mass Effect 2, by far, story-wise, is a complete mind. Just wow.
So fucking amazing.
It's so freaking good. It's like the one game that I always go back to. But if I had to think about what a game that literally threw me for a loop and literally made me say, "Oh wow," BioShock Infinite. I am he is me and I am him. And I was like, yo, what? I didn't see it coming. I didn't see the end of BioShock Infinite coming. And
that was a good ending.
That excellent game.
Dude, that ending to that game.
Yes, it was.
It was, like I said, Mass Effect, I feel like overall, it's just story from beginning to end. It's just crafted so well. But the last 30 to 45, probably the last hour of BioShock Infinite was wow. and it would like it's like it took the whole story of BioShock and just made it all make sense in the very end. And that was probably my biggest moment where I felt like I had to go talk to any and everybody that played that game to see what they thought and their perception of how the game played itself out. So that's the one for me.
It's gaming life. Okay. I thought you meant gaming life, game that changed my gaming life, Knights of the Old Republic. That set me on the path of where I am today. My love for Western RPGs, my love for RPGs in general. That game kickstarted it all, is a masterpiece. Now, people throw around this word a lot. But if you were to think of masterpiece level games, that would be a masterpiece. At the time, gameplay, fantastic. Story out of this world. The best Star Wars game ever made. I will say that. And yeah, Knights of the Old Republic for me.
That's why I'm really looking forward to the remake, because I never got to experience those.
Oh, it was when it
the
first
remakes
came out.
They're gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to do right by the game because it is the masterpiece level. So
I feel like they're gonna do right by it, because the move that they just recently made that we heard last year, that they're like, oh hell no, and fired the team. So I feel like that is an indication that they're taking it seriously.
Right.
So I think we're gonna get a good remake.
You know a game that didn't change our gaming lives? Anthem.
You know what game that didn't?
We can just move on from that.
Wait, so 40,
that was the game because guess what? If I think a lot of people will say that was the game that everybody had the super as high as expectations for, and it just didn't. It was completely opposite of what they thought it was going to be.
Yeah, Jesus. That game was actually the game that told me to trust demos. Because they're gonna let you know if that shit's trash or not.
I don't know. Demos are a coin toss though, because there've been games that have been better than their demos, and then vice versa. Obviously.
Oh, okay. Well, it'll let you know regarding performance is what I mean. So,
Hey, same thing about
got you.
Hey, same thing about Destiny and their beta. That beta told you a lot. It was the truth. It was 75% of the game.
All right. So, shout out to Amon who wants to discuss this. So, Grant Brace, that is, who was a student at University of Cumberland in Kentucky, died after a wrestling practice in 2020. A Kentucky university has agreed to pay $14 million to settle a lawsuit filed by the family of a student wrestler who died of heat stroke. Died a few hours after he begged for water during practice. What's wrong with, like, genuinely, like, what is wrong with people? Because, like, at the end of the day, in order to do better and be at peak performance, you need to nourish your body. That includes water, that includes good food. And saying, like, no, you can't get fucking water, no, you can't drink as a fucking punishment. The school's wrestling team started practice by running on a track. They were told to sprint up and down Punishment Hill, a steep incline, 7 times, according to the suit. Mind you, this is not fucking prison, and like the way they treat some people in the prison system is abysmal and disgusting as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's fucking sick. This cuck over here, Jordan Countryman, said that, oh, I'm gonna kick you off the team if you don't keep fucking running. Like, brother, come on, be for real here. I'm glad they got the money that they did, but it's just baffling and absolutely fucking stupid that it even had to occur in this way. Because at the end of the day, this is a young man who lost his life over something super fucking dumb. And it's like, especially when you're in that age range and you go straight from high school to like college, you're still in that mindset where you're like, I have to listen to what my professors or my coach or my teachers are saying. Like, I can't disobey them and shit like that. And I'm just like, man, because as it is right now, well, I wouldn't be in that position anyway, because I am uncoordinated, but still, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just think stuff like that is it's just really sad. It's really sad things like that happen.
Right.
But other than that, let's go ahead and get on out of here, boys. Great show. Thank you so much for coming through, y'all. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Let me get my channel members. Okay, let's see here. Content. Okay, no. Shout out to all the members of my channel. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to everyone who sent super chat. Appreciate you guys. What in the world? All right, thank you so much. All right, so shout out to Iman, Lionel, Drav, Gregor, Cassie, Samurai Black, Spencer, Blue Mustang, Damien, Damon, Tevin, H-Dog, Derek, Stankma, King Metrotron, Meat Puppet, Scroat, Phil, Mr. Dolo, DQ, John the Don, Smokes, Jarenza, Stardust, Outlaw, Riskit, Stone, Dexflex, Starbuck, Kenny, DC, Shogun, Mike, It's Me Baby, Big Daddy, Smitty, Plus on the Block Podcast, El Huito, Sub Negro, Sir X-Man, Yobi, MJ, Jazzy, Erodimus, and Bandy, Dom, Sir Duck, Sycamore, Zion, Danelle, Breesky, Corey, Light Strife, J Barry, Arcade, Pepitio, Nautical, Jet, Brandon, Envy, Jarrell, Somo, and Hannibal. Appreciate you guys so much for supporting me in this way. Thank you very much. Yeah, shout out to everyone who decided to hang out with us, on this fucking Saturday when you could have been doing anything else, but you're hanging out with the Scum crew, and I appreciate it. Shout out to Ramon for coming through. Ramon, you're always welcome. I always love having you on. Did Slomo tell you what I said about you?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, I was like, Ramon is a cool fucking guy. That's just a cool fucking guy. I was like, I really like him. So make sure you let him know the next time you see him. And did he let you know? No. Okay. He didn't say anything.
Well, he knows now.
Well, you're spoiling me. I really appreciate that.
Of course.
I mean, the feeling is just 1,000,000% mutual. Like, I mean, you're awesome. All you guys are awesome. And like, I really genuinely feel like it's a privilege to be able to hang out with you guys on this show. So thank you so much for having me. And thank you to the chat.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are awesome.
I just realized I did not fucking tweet out this goddamn show. I was like, la-di-da.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people in the chat who are about to drop likes are also going to share the show, right?
Facts.
Yeah.
They will.
I can't believe I forgot to fucking link this. Oh, well. All right. Anyway, let's see here. Forte, thank you so much for coming through, Nautical, on your... I know you had a long day today, and it is your birthday, so thank you so much. Happy birthday to Nautical,
happy
guys.
birthday again, man. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Hanging out with the family tomorrow. My wife is out of town, so we're going to all do something tomorrow, go out to dinner, probably go see Guardians of the Galaxy, because I was going to take the kids today, but she was like, no, wait for me. I was like, okay.
It's worth seeing it with, like, everyone, because it's an excellent movie.
That's what I heard.
Excellent. Very.
That's what I heard. So kind of crazy to think that they changed, that they almost had different directors on this one and everything, and they ended up coming back to the table and getting it all taken care of. So it's good.
James Gunn just knows what he's doing. So
he knows what he's doing. But awesome. Really appreciate it, Luca, as always. It's your boy Forte. Check me out. It's your boy Forte. Gaming Forte everywhere: YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live, and PlayStation. DPS podcast every Thursday night, 9 p.m. was on my channel this past week. So make sure you check it out. It'll be on Slow-Mo's next week. We are doing a special stream of the PlayStation Showcase on Wednesday next week. Going live at 4:00. We are going to have a special guest. We will announce that later on at the beginning of the week after we get everything tied down. So definitely come through and hang out with us then. And just have a great weekend and playing the games you want. And Xbox ain't done until they're done. So have a good weekend.
Did I do you?
No,
Not
you
yet.
didn't.
All right, go ahead, buddy.
Shout out to Ramon coming through. Shout out to
Thank you, sir.
this fantastic panel that we have every week, and shout out to the chat for being awesome as always. And you can find me everywhere. Also, happy birthday to 40.
Thank you.
You're only getting younger. You're not getting older. Remember that. And
What?
Or maybe
it was something that was said to me. No.
maybe you're not getting older. You're getting better. You're only getting better.
hell?
No. There's a story to that, because when it was my birthday, my friend's dad said that to me, and I was like, "What?" So I just had to reciprocate. But yeah, you can catch me testing everywhere, and see you all later.
All right, peace. And I will not be streaming that fucking showcase, because I want to sit there and I want to absorb everything naturally and not on stream, but I will definitely discuss it afterwards. All right. Oh, and I will be live tweeting it. So, all right. If I should be home. So, all right. Peace. 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 Peace.
Later, everybody.